we talked to Bobby and Tanner, and he said, kind of keep it the same. You've been preaching that message for the last couple of weeks, and this is the perfect time to kind of keep it the same, isn't it?
Yeah, broken record last 2 days, and another day here to just absolutely prepare the best you can, and then get ready to fight for 27, or if it takes additional outs, but another series. And I'm serious. I think that's our best way. I think there's been some times on great runs in the past where a coach or player start thinking I got to do more, and I think that's when you force a game, bad things happen. I think we're just trying to get to the same number, same mindset, to go compete again, and then we'll look up Sunday and see what's next for us. And I think that's what every team should do at this stage of the year, is just invest in, tomorrow night's ball game, and we've been having good at bats. Can we keep our at bats disciplined? We really talked about every swing with a purpose and trying to keep our head and barrel connected. Every pitch, can we put our head in the mitt? And then absolutely a great sound out of every routine ball that's hit to us to make a great sound, and those head and eyes right behind that glove, and then move with the game feet. It shouldn't be different, it should be the same, and that's what we tried to do for 2 days. We'll absolutely do it again today, and then be ready to play a hot as a firecracker team, like every week it seems we're doing.
You mentioned the hot as a firecracker. I mean, just to have a team that's right, I guess I think it's about the last 6 in the SEC, just to have them coming in here. I mean, how do you view that, and just, what really kind of sticks out about this team right now?
I'm glad we're playing here.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing, man, every week there's is it Messina, is it Cruz, is it White, is it Hines, Gonzalez, Alderman, just the names change, but what you learn, especially like with our first year guys, it's like, okay, you got that guy that's got 20 home runs every weekend. You got that guy that can hit backside doubles. You got that guy that can be a pest. Guys, it's the SEC. And at least it seems like we got to a point where, like, all right, we kind of know what we're dealing with now. And kind of that, take a breath, let it out. And there's a couple of things I think that's really helped us. One, I go back to a Texas A&M series where we walked 25 in 2 games. And then we walked 4 games in a series last week. You're going to have a chance if you're connected. You can't just be in a good place mentally and win. There's execution involved in our league because you're matched athletically every weekend. So to me, that's one piece. We're making the other fella beat us, and that's a better recipe for us. Number 2 is Case and Howell, and that story needs to be told. It ain't a coach. These coaches are consistent, and it's their job. My job is to, whether we're on top, in the middle, or the bottom, to absolutely keep building young men, keep enriching and growing our program. This is the Case and Howell effect. And that's why our team is ready to play. That's why our team didn't have a letdown after beating the number 1 team in America, and they went on the road and played their best series of the year. It's the Case and Howell effect. And the wins should go toward those players, and the leadership of Case and Howell. The losses should come to Coach Thompson and nobody else. And that's how you want a program to be constructed. And but I think those 2 things. I think we're making the other fella beat us. We've been pretty good offense. We've believed in our offense all year. It was exceptional last week for 3 games. We've been able to dominate the routine play for most of the year, and I think all in all, we're one of the better defensive teams that are out there as far as outfielders have been able to cover, the catcher, the left side, even first and second base. It's a pretty solid defensive unit. Pitchers coming on, and the Case and Howell effect is what's on my mind today.
Pitching rotation for this weekend?
Yeah, Alsop, Vail, TBA. And I just think it depends on how much mileage, who we dump in that ball game. And this is one of those weekends where I think it's really TBA, because if we're behind, every coach does a different strategy. If you're ahead, we probably go for it, and that might take one of those out. I think we need more flexibility than we need the last couple of weekends. So who could that be? It could be, did Copeland get in one of the first 2 games? Did Bauman? He's like the game 1 guy that we've used time and time again. I don't think we're hiding anything from Missouri. All you got to do is look and prepare, and you know who each team is going to use. So I'm using those 2 examples, and there's probably 3 more. So I just think we see how the first 2 games go. This week we need to do that. Herberholz will be out this week, of course, and next week, although we did get a good report, and we will point toward having him back. So we don't think this is ligament. We think it's in the pronator category, and hey, he might not be ready then, but I think that's what we're hopeful. And if we can get in the regional, I think we'll start giving him a week off and then start throwing to get back to that and set for a regional and see if we can get there. So that's, I think our best shot is to leave TBA open, because I don't want to regret naming a starting pitcher and then after 2 days wanting to go somewhere else.
You mentioned the Case and Howell effect. I know last year you talked a lot about just kind of the player-led leadership of that team, and it seems like that's a pretty big point of emphasis for your teams. But just what sticks out about him as a leader to you?
Yeah, consistent. He's talking to them. The coaches don't even talk to the players after the game. Case and Howell, Bobby Pierce, Nate LaRue talk to the players after the game. They give me enough respect to shoot by me real quick and say, this is what I'm thinking, my messaging, and making sure we're in harmony. So they give me some respect there. But I'm glad we did that, because I think this needed to be player-led. Our pitchers run their own show, so they don't know what to do early, and we keep talking about concepts. It starts in August, and then it takes hold. I think it creates more intent, conviction, ownership whenever it's bought into and then gotten. You see the commitment with Nate LaRue, where we've hung in there with Nate LaRue, but we thought it would get to our best ways. Where what Nate LaRue can do, because he's led a pitching staff to Omaha before, is that if you'll stay with him, leave him alone, he'll get guys that are 60 feet 6 inches in front of him better. And I think we've seen that too. That's another, if you ask me what the third element was, that may be the third element. But Cason's he has the respect of everybody. When a ball's hit to him and he touches his glove out there, he's immediately into the next play. When somebody don't do a job, he's like us. He's human, not perfect, but he's coming. He's gonna let you know something, even if he's got to come pick you back up after the game or the next day. He just absolutely. I mean, if he committed to coming back for another year, when he was like, should I sign pro or should I move on with life? And once he made a commitment that he was coming back for another year, it was all in. And I'm glad we're not getting 80% of him. And then I think about Game 3 LSU, and I think about the series again against Ole Miss, and he's playing pretty good too. So that's to boot, and that's what's resonating in my mind before we get all carried away and start talking about oohing and ahhing. If there's going to be any oohing and ahhing, it needs to be with challenging the strike zone more, and the Case and Howell effect is the 2 biggest things from where I sit.
Now that you've kind of got the bulk of the regular season anyways, under his belt with his first year in the program, just what really sticks out to you about Ike Irish's first season here?
Yeah, he was like our hitter in the fall, so he was already stepped on campus and had the respect of the clubhouse. Hitting was torrid. Starting out was unbelievable, and then I thought conference had slowed down a little bit, and boy, last weekend was fun to watch. I think his best boat was caught. Groff caught that ball in center field. I think that was the best swing of the weekend. He wound up hitting a home run to the pull side, a home run opposite field, but then I still think the best swing was caught. The best swing he took for the weekend was caught. And if this young man comes back around and starts swinging the bat, half of what he was doing to start the season is to our benefit. And again, he don't give it bats away, even if it was a little slow in SEC play. He competes. He thinks about what they're going to do to him. When he pulls off, you can see him he's not mad at the pitcher, and he's mad at himself of like the approach that maybe he just pulled off the swing. That tells me how locked in he is to what he's doing. So, it's fun for this year. It's fun for the future, but it's awesome to talk about a freshman that is like such a huge piece right now moving forward in the present. And I think he's starting to heat back up a little bit, and that's exciting.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank y'all.